Hey everybody, welcome to a episode of Behind the Cards. I am Kevin, also known as the Congress Guy. Now, today's episode, we are going to be looking at this deck here. Now, this is obviously a Congress deck. This is a deck made around somewhere between 1901 and 1904. This is called Priscilla. You have the beautiful border there, and then you have the woman named Priscilla sitting at her wheel. Looks like she's spinning yarn or something. There is what I call a sister deck that was copyrighted in 1899 called Spinning Wheel. It's almost identical in every way. So I'm guessing they just changed the name afterwards. So let's get into it. So you have the back of the box here. The beautiful font here, Congress Playing Cards, number 606, gold edges, copyright 1900. So this is probably made in 1900. Based on the Ace of Spades, which we'll show here in a minute, it's probably made in 1901. So, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. So let's go ahead and look at the Ace of Spades. You have the big C kind of wrapped around the O, almost connecting with the N, and the word Congress there. This is the US 6E Ace of Spades. If you have a Hockman Encyclopedia, you'll know that designation. Basically, it's United States for US Playing Card Company. The 6, I believe, goes with the 606 for Congress. Probably not, but it's close. And then the E is just in order of the deck. You had the US 6, which was two of them, two different ones, A, B, C, CC, and then E. I don't think there was a D. So anyway, so now you go over to the Joker, and you see that it's a matching Joker. They also call them named Jokers. This one here, you've got the US at opposing corners. It kind of looks like a dollar sign, US for US Playing Card Company. The name at the bottom, Priscilla. You got the black and white image of the card design. And then this is a version 2 Joker, matching Joker. What I mean by that is the first version, which goes with the US 6C Ace, you would have the word Joker there at the top center. Most people, people that sell these cards that not quite sure what they have, they will just say there is a picture card or an extra card or something. They don't realize that it's a Joker. So now let's look at the edges. Beautiful gold edges right here. Just amazing, for a 120-year-old deck. So, but that's not the fascinating thing about this deck, and I'll show that to you now. It's this handwritten note inside it. It's 99% intact. Part of it flaked off when I opened it because I had no idea it was there. The guy that I bought it from on eBay didn't even know it. So it says, Priscilla at her wheel to Clara M. Robertson from Uncle John, Rochester, June 21, 1906. That's where the number flaked off. Fortunately, I was able to read it before I lost it. I even couldn't find it on the floor. South Berwick, Maine, January 23rd, 1823. Now, the person that bought this deck, that's Uncle John, John Marr. So he is a great uncle, which I didn't know that until I just got the more updated information from my dad, who helped me find out the original information. So he was born January 23rd, 1823. Berwick in York County, Maine. He died February 21st, 1916 in Cleveland. Okay, so now let's move on to the recipient of this deck, and that would be Clara. So Clara Morse Robertson, her dad was a builder, actually. She was born in 1871 in Cleveland, Ohio, and she died in 1950 in Kansas City, Missouri. So in 1879, her family moved to Kansas City. So she was around 8 years old. In 1900, she became a teacher at Washington High School, which is no longer there in Kansas City, Missouri. In 1907, she was married to Gould Eli Jones. In 1910, according to the census, she had no job, but she was married. She was a widowed mother, and single sister lived with them. So they had a kind of a big household there. In 1917, she lives in Caddo, Louisiana. In 1920, she was boarder in Rooming House, Kansas City, Missouri, no occupation listed. Her husband was working in Louisiana. In 1930, she was a teacher in Washington, Missouri, on the south side of Kansas City. The widowed mother and single sister still living with them again. In 1940, she has no occupation listed. Marlboro, Missouri, also south side of Kansas City. Now just the single sister lives with them. And in 1950, she passed away. Now her mother that was living with her was Lydia Marr, born in 1842 in Maine. And she was married in Cleveland in 1866 to William M. Robertson. Her grandmother was Sarah née Holt Marr, wife of Dr. Alexander Marr. Sarah was born in 1818 in Pennsylvania. So that gives you an idea of the person that actually owned this deck after it was gifted. So now you move on, and now we find the person she married, who is actually David Gould Eli Jones. Born in 1875 in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. His dad was a carpenter. He died in 1957 in Kansas City. His brother, James M. Jones, was Kansas City mayor 1896 to 1900. David was brought to Kansas City to work in city engineer office by his brother. His mayor brother also had another brother, George, working for the city. 1897, he was attending Western Dental College while on work hours. Newspaper exposed this story. 1898, made $7,000 a year working for the city. That's $250,000 today. Transferred to the water department, now made $900 a year, $32,000 in today's money. Something happened there. And this is all census records and things that my dad dug up. 1900, he was clerk at the waterworks, single, living at a boarding house in Kansas City. 1907, he got married. 1910, he was an abstractor or draftsman, still married. That's where the widowed mother-in-law and single sister-in-law lives with him. 1917, he was a draftsman at Caddo Abstract Company Limited, Caddo, Louisiana. 1920, abstractor in real estate, Rushton, Louisiana. Wife in Kansas City, Missouri, in boarding house. 1930, draftsman, Washington, Jackson, Missouri, south side of Kansas City. 1935, real estate man, Marlboro, Missouri. 1940, real estate man in abstract insurance, Marlboro, Missouri, south side of Kansas City still. 1950, obviously Clara died. In 1957, he passed away. Obituary stated he was a surveyor for Long Bell Lumber in the Pacific Northwest. Must have been before 1910. So this kind of gives you a background of the people that, handled, owned, played with this deck. It doesn't look like it was played with very much. So, yeah, it's one of those decks that, it tells a story. And now that with these names on it, we can tell their story in a way. And I think that's something that, when you collect antique decks that you hope to find, and not only preserving these decks, but at the same time, you're bringing their stories back to life. And that's what I'm trying to, one of the things I try to do. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and make that notification to all. And we will see you on the next episode.